Welcome to the Small Business Voice with Justin Duncan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. We are here every Saturday to highlight local entrepreneurs and small business owners to learn how they succeed to build their businesses from the ground up, what were their challenges, and what are their victories. And the purpose of this show is to put a voice to local small business owners and entrepreneurs so you can, when you contact them for their services, you have an idea of who they are and who you're talking to. When you buy from one of our guests, you are buying from a local business. Jeanette, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing good.
Spring is here.
Spring is here. I want to give a quick shout out to Marisol Fernandez, who you're actually working with now.
God, she's tough. But
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? It's tough for me because my body for years has been running on adrenaline and I don't eat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the toughest part for me was you have to eat, Jeanette. And so, she went through a whole week of just show me what you eat. And then after weeks, she goes, you don't eat.
Yeah.
So I've had to now get used to eating again and getting my protein levels up. And when she said how much protein I need, I'm going like, what? Am I eating the entire day? I don't have time for this. But I've now figured out what gives me the biggest bang for my buck, so to say. And if I have to, I have now figured out that breakfast for me, I don't like anything that is processed or pre-prepared, but I finally caved to protein shakes. And so in the morning, I usually just have my coffee. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to try this tomorrow. I tried a chocolate one, and it was just too thick. I can't drink this. So I heard that if I take like the night before, like 4 ounces of it, like an espresso in my Nespresso machine, and then put it in with like the chocolate protein shake and some milk and put it in the refrigerator, I'll have a 40 grams of protein, like mocha latte, chilled, especially since summer's coming. So I'm going to try that.
All right. So I have a suggestion too. So really quick, I've been working with Marisol about a year now. I don't even think it's been a year, but I'm down 71 pounds.
71 pounds. I mean, that is amazing.
Yeah. So very happy. I'm down to, I weighed in at 235 and I just texted her this morning and asked her about, do we want to change anything going forward? And she says, no, if you're losing again, we'll just keep what you're doing. So I cut out eggs, mainly because, they cost so much right now, but cut out eggs, so I'm focusing more on oatmeal and making sure I take protein with my oatmeal. So my suggestion was, and I haven't talked to Marisol about this, but there's a thing called oats overnight. And
so you put them the night before and
So basically what you do, and they got a bunch of different flavors. And I haven't heard from Marisol if this is a good thing, but apparently this got a lot of protein in it. Mm-hmm. And you make this thing and it sits overnight in your fridge. So when you wake up in the morning, you're able to take it and then you just drink it. You're drinking your oatmeal, but you're getting the protein you need. And
because you're putting protein powder in it, or
I don't know. I don't know a lot about it. A friend of mine has it, so he's the one that kind of told me about it. So I sent the link over to Marisol for her to get her approval, basically, because it has different flavors, and like strawberry cheesecake, like blueberry. Yeah.
So see, I think this would be great for you, for me, being Swedish. I mean, I actually enjoy having, 2 soft-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you're also on the go a lot too.
Yeah, but I really don't. I've never done oats.
Yeah.
In Sweden we do cream of wheat, but I mean, I really do not do any carbs at all. And, so she gives, how she gives you a little dot thing? Mm-hmm. And I fill up that first dot with the sugar in my coffee. I cannot do my coffee black. But, my biggest thing was trying to get in 143 grams of protein a day. And, but now I figured out, like yesterday, I did have protein shake there, went 40. Yeah. So I only had like 100 left. And then I had sashimi. Mm-hmm. And so I had the salmon and ahi and then smoked salmon. And how she does weighing everything out. Mm-hmm. Well, it actually ended up giving me almost 60 grams of protein. I was at 100. Okay. If I would have just done another 40-gram protein shake, I would have hit my 143.
Yeah.
But I cooked dinner for my son. And so, there's pork tenderloin and, vegetables. And that's where I'm trying to get my vegetables and things in.
Okay.
And I finally bought some Greek yogurt. I'm not really a yogurt person. But
I like Greek yogurt.
But I have fresh strawberries because,
you just mix that all in. So you listen to the Small Business Voice with Justin Duggan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. I wanted to give a quick shout out to Marcel and Rick, owners of Rooted Movement. We do have a guest coming on today. We have Freddy Mojica, owner of ENF Services.
Oh yeah, and he's new in business too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's young. He's in his I want to say he's 27. So he's a.
And see, that's the whole thing. It's so tough when you're young, but you have to have that entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to find out, how did he start? Why did he do this? What did he do beforehand?
Well,
because something comes to the point where you're going like, I can't do this. I cannot do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Well, so it got to a point where I was walking around my house and I looked. I was in the back alley and I looked in at my roof, and like I said, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but since you're my insurance agent, but
I hear nothing.
Yeah. But I saw moss, growing up there. And when he did a 60-second presentation, he mentioned like, hey, if you have moss growing on your roof, your homeowner's insurance can cancel you. So,
they can. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's coming out this Thursday to treat my roof. He's going to take care of that for me. And he's also going to clean out my gutters too.
And I'll tell you also, when you're purchasing a house, I had one of my customers. He's been a customer ever since he moved from Chicago here to California, and he is a surgeon. And so the escrow was closing on the house, and he was coming and moving out. And all of a sudden, the insurance company says, we're not insuring this house. And it's a gorgeous house, absolutely fabulous. And it's got like that Mission clay tile.
Yeah.
But on one side, the north side, it was just covered in moss. And so now I had to go and find someone. I had to go and find, because he was out of state, and they went up there because you also have to make sure it's so reputable, because, clay tile, you can't get someone just breaking those things.
Yeah.
And they went up and they power washed the entire roof. There was nothing else wrong with the house. And took pictures of it, and the escrow went through, closed on time, and so it's very important. And these days, homeowners are the insurance companies. They're using drones, and so they're checking out the roof. They're checking out what's called pride of ownership. So I mean, they're getting really close to it and seeing that there's like not even just like leaves on the roof from some big tree or anything else. So it is very important for your homeowner's insurance.
Well, I did have a big tree, and we took it out, and then I had that one tree fall, I think, last year. So we're down to one tree in the front yard, and I'm going to probably have that one removed because I want to go ahead and widen my driveway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then I have a big yard. So I think I told you before, my house it's just shy of 1,100 square feet, but it's on a big lot. So I have a big backyard, I have a big front yard. And I want to basically have an RV pad. Yeah. Even though I don't have an RV, but I want to do an RV pad and then just extend the driveway out. So Yeah,
I don't have an RV, but I do have RV access on one side of the house. It's 9.5 feet on one side of the house. And what ends up happening? I'm just glad that a drone hasn't gone over my house. It ends up being the storage for every bicycle the kids have ever owned in their entire life.
Oh yeah.
And so
I'm trying to get rid of that too. Like I still have some of my parents' stuff at my house. I have a lot of my kids' stuff, and it's like I only have 1,100 square feet, so I can't even use my garage right now because my daughter has.
Ask kids first, because I'm telling you. You have some kids that are going, yeah, get rid of it. And then you'll have another one. They'll 5 years from now come to you and go, Dad, where's that thing I had? It's like, and they'll be devastated. You're supposed to keep things for life.
That'll be my son. But anyway, so we got Freddy coming in. He's going to talk to us about taking care of your house, taking care of your roof.
Oh, yeah.
Give us, maybe some tips on what to do. Probably the biggest tip is hire him. That's going to be the biggest tip.
I want to find out exactly. I want to find out about him. He's young. And I want to make sure that he gets also a lot of business.
All right. So we come back. We have Freddy Mojica of ENF Services. This is the Small Business Voice with Justin Duggan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. Stay with us.
This business tip is brought to you by Sisbro Innovation. I'm Catherine Ramos, and today we're talking about local networking. Connect with other local businesses, attend community events, and join local business associations like Gold Star Referral Clubs and the Modesto Chamber of Commerce. This helps to establish your business within the community and create useful partnerships that will help your company gain valuable referrals. Sisbro Innovation, where we help local businesses connect with local families. For more information on this tip, check out our blog at sisbroinnovation.com. That's Sisbro, SISBRO, innovation.com.
Welcome back to the Small Business Voice with Justin Duncan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. Reach out to more information about our featured guests by texting 209-222-8846, or you can always email me at info@smallbusinessvoicemedia.com. So today we have Freddy Mojica from E&F Services. He's here to kind of tell us about, taking care of your roof, your house,
all that good stuff.
All that good stuff.
And we're going to find out everything about him.
Yeah, so
I'm an open book.
So to start, I mean, you caught my attention when you talked about moss growing on your roof.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's and it just so happened I just went outside one day. I was looking at it. I saw the roof, the moss growing on the roof on the north end of the house, by the way. And
if you're lost in the forest,
yeah.
North is at the side of the tree where moss grows.
Yeah, where the shade
that's
is.
good to know. So,
oh, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, but
not Justin, but it's okay. That's why we got. That's what we're here for.
See, we're here to educate people.
Yeah, well, I just learned something. So
yeah, you were this old when you learned that.
So hey, just shy of 50. So
well, you look great, brother.
Thank you. So, but you caught my attention when you talked about moss growing on the roof, and I'm thinking, oh, you know what? So we talked about it.
Yeah, okay.
You're actually coming out this Thursday to work on my roof.
That's right.
So I try to use all my guests, when they come in.
Of course. I appreciate you for that.
Yeah. So I don't have any solar panels as of yet, but I'm sure that'll be coming pretty soon. But
yeah.
but
my roof has moss, but I also know this is terrible. I shouldn't even say this, but especially in the spring, you get the moss. And as an insurance agent, yes, that's when a lot of people, they end up getting the notices because people have bought homes. Most people buy homes once the kids are out of school. So May, June, et cetera. And so their homeowner's policy renews at that time, but they come out and do the inspection 3 months prior. So the moss is on the roof. And these days, insurance companies, any reason they have. Yes.
Yeah.
But I know that on mine, I have the concrete tiles. And yes, I'll get a little bit, but I know that the summer's going to be hot. And by June, it's all dried up and it's gone. But but moss can do damage to roofs.
So I don't have a tile roof. I have
good shingles.
Yeah, I have wood shingles. Yeah. So you can kind of tell me
you need
where
a new
I'm
roof.
Oh, I do. That is true. But you didn't hear about my roof.
No.
As far as you're concerned, my roof is perfect. So
It is.
Exactly.
So Freddie, tell us how you got started. Kind of tell us, what you're looking to do, like your services. But why don't you tell us how you got started first?
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So first and foremost, we're called E&F Services because it's me and my brother. I call him my brother, but he's more like my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
We started this business 2 years ago. We're Eric and Freddy, so that's what the E&F stands for.
So how long have you known each other?
Oh, I've known Eric for 15 plus years.
Okay.
We met each other in high school. Which funny story, we weren't the best of pals. We actually didn't really like each other. But
and why? Different groups, ran with different groups?
Well, he was more, I don't want to put him on blast, but he was more like the quiet. We're just totally opposite. He was the quiet one. I was always the outspoken, loud one.
You were the drama.
Yeah.
What did they used to call them in school? Drama freaks?
Drama geeks.
Geeks. Okay,
Yeah.
Was that it? Okay, so you were the. Well, I did
fine.
musicals in high school, and I was in
I
a
loved it.
cappella, and so I can relate. But.
So we did that. I did that, and then around junior year, I never really followed the crowd, and neither did he. So that's how we kind of got together. And plus, me, I'm kind of I don't want to say ish talker, but I like to mess with people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Eric was one who wasn't really afraid to like do it back.
Oh.
Other people, they'd get annoyed or they get angry when I was joking. Some people couldn't take it as a joke, but Eric, he was the one that did. He knew. So junior year, we started hanging out, whatever, And he joined the military right after high school. And then he got out in 2022. And that's when we had always talked about doing a business. And he was like, hey, brother, what about long truck hauling? I was like, yeah, let's do it. So, but then we started doing our research, too much overhead. We were 20, 21, 20. We couldn't afford to pay over $100,000.
Yeah, it was like buying a house.
Exactly.
And the insurance. Oh my gosh.
And that's what it was.
Yeah.
We were like, okay, no, we can't do this. So then around, I think it was like April or May of 2023, he was like, hey, bro, what about this? I saw a guy on Instagram or on TikTok, one of those two. And he was like, I saw him cleaning solar panels. He was like, what do you think about that? He was like, I have a credit card. And he's like, I'm willing to fund it. Let's put it on the credit card. And would you help me? You have sales experience. You could be the salesman, bro. He's like, I'd be more of like the investor and I'd help you out. But you're the people person. You're the one who I know could get us jobs. So sure enough, he moved up here.
Where was he living?
He was living in Bakersfield.
Okay, that's where you grew up.
Yeah,
Bakersfield. Okay.
Yeah, that's where we met. And then so he moved up here in June, like end of May, June 2023. And sure enough, we bought some filters. We bought some brushes from Home Depot. And we just started going at it. We didn't really know what to do. We would never opened a business.
All right, so you went out and started door knocking? You did flyers?
Got some cards made. We were running a special for, man, this is crazy to think about now. $25 for a gutter cleaning.
Oh, gutter cleaning. Oh, do you know what? I just looked up my gutters. I have plants growing out of my gutters.
We need to go eradicate that.
Yes. How far are you willing to travel? Because I'm all the way up in Linden.
Oh yeah, I'll do Linden. So
you'll do Linden.
Yeah,
wow.
I actually did a house because we do Christmas lights in the winter. We switch over, and I did a house in Linden. She actually knew Aaron Judge's mom.
Oh, okay, nice.
Oh, okay. Well, my son went to school with
I
Aaron
remember
Judge.
You were telling me, yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. So it was cool, and I'll travel. The farthest we go up north for the right price, right? Obviously, I'll go to Sac. I've had people get estimates in Elk Grove. We go all the way as far as Livermore, and then down south, the farthest I've gone is Merced.
All right. You're listening to Freddy Mojica on the Small Business Voice with Justin Duggan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app.
I don't like partnerships. And like they say, your best friend, you go into partnerships, you go into business together, and that's the best way to get an enemy, and you never talk. You lose friendships.
Definitely.
It's hard.
And
Very hard.
But you guys have totally different, like you said, there's a yin and a yang. You're
Definitely.
out there.
100%.
Do you both work physically in the business? Or since you said he was the investor, is he more in the office? Who does the bookkeeping, the booking, or?
Yeah, so that's exactly what it is. So, because I'm going to be honest, I could do computer work, but I hate it. Mm-hmm. Eric likes it.
Because you're an extrovert,
yes,
yeah.
Exactly. So, exactly. I think that's what our dynamic helps out because he creates our contracts. He's going to school actually from Berkeley for economics, and then he's trying to go to law school. He's going to be a business lawyer. So he creates our contracts, he does the invoicing, he does all that good stuff, the behind the scenes. And I'm the front runner.
So are you the only, since you just started, basically, when you first start a business, it's a lot of hands-on. When I started, when I opened up an agency, I was doing all the writing. I was doing everything. And when the business got over a certain point, I think also they said when I hit 2 million, they go, you can't work in the office any longer. You need to work on the business. Don't work in the business, but on the business.
Yeah, definitely.
And you end up, because you can't do it all. You get to that point where you grow, where you get enough orders, but now you can't do them all. So now you have to hire someone.
Yes.
But remember, the person you hire is the person who's going to be the biggest liability.
Yes.
That's the person who's going to kick up a rock in someone's window or. Yeah. Exactly. So, are you at that point yet? Do you have others or are you still just starting out?
No, so we have one full-timer and then I have a part-timer. My full-timer, if you look on our page, our Instagram and stuff, you'll see him working. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at now. I have to pivot. So I learned how to do everything. I can clean a panel. I know how to clean gutters, clean a roof like the back of my hand, which I thought was going to be the hard part. But now that I have to actually, go out and talk.
I think that's the biggest liability, though. Solar panels are expensive.
Yeah.
Roofs,
Exactly.
But then you have, if you're going to do a sidewalk in someone's driveway, I've seen those kind of like TikTok videos.
Yes, definitely.
Do you have any of those?
Yeah, we have a couple of those transformations. You could look on our social media pages.
Okay.
We do a lot of that type of content because people like it. It's like the before and afters, right?
And what do you enjoy doing the most?
Talking to people.
You know what? We could actually do that. Like once you can do the before on my roof, and then do the after, and then we'll share it on my page and your page, and then
we'll get a little interview too and see some customer satisfaction. You don't have to be biased. It's okay. I want you to be truthful.
No, that's cool. I mean,
but we do great work, and I think that's the most important thing for me is doing great work. But like how you were saying, I think for me doing talking to the people, talking to the customers, that's my favorite part. Seeing how, oh my God, this is, oh my God.
You never knew it was so dirty until it was so dirty, right?
Exactly. No, 100%.
And especially solar panels, because I see people that have solar panels, then I look out and I'm seeing all this dust on them. I'm going, are they even getting the electricity or energy that they're trying to get?
So I tell people it's like a window, right? It's like your car window. What happens when you get all those bugs and all that dirt and you don't wash your windows, right? You start to have to squint. You can't really look. So basically it's the same for a panel. You're losing efficiency. Anywhere from 15 to 30% you lose. And, cleaning the panels, that's the importance. And you got to get them cleaned, though, every 6 months. That's what we advise.
Just water, or do you use
So what we used is, it's called deionized water. So that's what the filters are for. So basically, because if you use regular, water from your tap, from the faucet, it could leave water spots.
Isn't that what they use at the car dealerships? Mm-hmm. They have someone come and with a big old tank, and that's why the cars look so nice and clean.
Exactly, and they don't have no water spots.
You're definitely going to have to come up because I have my gutters. Like I noticed, 4-inch plants growing out of there.
No, we don't want that.
And so, So now that I know that you're going to come up there, and you came up there before, so I'm also interested in the Christmas tree light thing.
That was really good. I got my lights down really fast. I got them down by September or December 26th this year.
No, I wanted permanent ones. So I want to ask you.
Okay, perfect.
And I had someone that was going to come up and, install permanent Christmas lights.
What do you mean permanent ones?
Oh, they stay up all year, and you can actually change, for St. Patrick's Day, you have green. Yeah. And for Valentine's Day, you have the house all in pink.
Yes, all in pink and
red. And, then you can do the Christmas lights. And so I thought that was just so, plus no taking them up or down. But the person who was going to come and install them, I got the quote, everything, ended up getting sick. I didn't have any Christmas lights this Christmas.
Oh, wow.
So we'll get it done.
So we have a lot of questions for you. So we're going to take a break, and then we'll have you come back. So it usually takes a couple of segments to get to know you.
Sure,
so it's like dating a little bit, I guess. So.
No speed dating. This is when you want to get to know the person. No, for sure. Definitely.
This is definitely speed dating.
So when we come back, we got more Freddy Mojica from E&F Services. You're listening to Small Business Voice with Justin and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. Stay with us. This is Justin Duncan from the Small Business Voice. And what does every small business need? A website. That's why the Small Business Voice used Sisbro Innovation to build its website. If you're a small business owner looking to grow your online presence, attract more customers, and actually see results, then you need to connect with Sisbro Innovation. They've been helping businesses thrive for over 10 years, offering affordable websites, SEO, Google Ads, social media marketing, and reputation management, all this without breaking the bank. They were also voted Best of 209 for digital marketing in 2024 as well. So if you're ready to take your business to the next level, reach out to Sisbro Innovation today and see what they can do for you. And tell them that Justin from the Small Business Voice sent you. Visit sisbroinnovation.com or call them at 1-800-291-9102. Connecting local businesses with local families.
This business tip is brought to you by Sisbro Innovation. I'm Catherine Ramos, and today we're focusing on employee satisfaction. Happy employees translates to happy customers. Ensuring your team is satisfied with their job or well compensated and feels value will improve their productivity and customer service. Employee turnover can be costly, hence investing in employee satisfaction is beneficial in the long run. Sisbro Innovation, where we help local businesses connect with local families. For more information on this tip, check out our blog at sisbroinnovation.com. That's Sisbro, SISBRO, innovation.com.
Welcome back to the Small Business Voice with Justin Duncan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. Reach out to more information about our featured guests by texting 209-222-8846, or you can always email me at info@smallbusinessvoicemedia.com. So we're back with Freddy Mojica of E&F Services.
That's me.
If you need a quote, give them a call at 209-315-4010, or you can email him at enfservices@gmail.com. And you can follow him on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and that's ENF Services.
Yeah, we were talking about the solar panels. So wait a minute. So the only way to make an appointment with you, call you on the phone, but you're up on somebody's roof maybe. Mm-hmm. But do you have a web page where you can book an appointment and see the availability, or?
So that's actually what we're in the process right now.
See, starting a business, you get all those things put together.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was talking about earlier of like, now I have to pivot. You know, we were doing a lot of word of mouth, and luckily I got pretty good with Facebook ads. So we were able to get a lot of, people through social media. We get a lot of our work word of mouth and social media. But now I'm realizing you got to have a website.
Oh, you have to. We've talked about that before. And, we are in more of a digital world.
Exactly.
And, so right now, I know you were talking about Christmas lights, and I wanted to get Christmas lights. And so that's something probably that I'm going to have done at the end of summer. But you're also going to come by and do my windows at my office. But I want to wait until I know for sure all the rain is gone.
Yeah, hopefully they said today's the last one.
What are you doing right now? We're in spring. Everyone's doing spring cleaning. Are you doing driveways, walkways?
Yeah. That's a big focus of ours right now. We do a lot of roof cleanings, like you said about the insurance policies. A lot of people are hitting us up for that. I actually got a call today from someone. They want to schedule an estimate, but mostly, panels. Right now, panels, gutters, and pressure washing. Homes. Easter's right around the corner. People are like, "Oh, I want to get my house washed. I want to get my dry. We're going to have it at my house this year." So that's a big thing for us. Usually in the spring, that's when. Excuse me, I got a cough. Mm-hmm. I'm a little nervous. No, but
don't be nervous.
Usually that's that's around the time spring through about all the way to September it hits for everything.
So you're really young right now, though. So how old are you?
I'm 27 years old.
27. See, that's the age of my daughter.
There we go.
One of my daughters, but
there you go. You don't have another one? No, I'm just kidding.
She got quite a few daughters actually.
Yeah, and they're all married. Yeah,
that's good.
Sorry.
That's good. No.
Are you looking? Are you looking for a wife that's going to be able to put up with a self-employed man? Takes a special woman.
It does. And I'm not really in a rush because I'm busy myself all the time. And like you said, it is a it's a lot for someone to take on, and long hours. I'm always on the phone. I'm always out talking. I'm always out networking. But I would enjoy a woman who kind of is the same. Maybe she doesn't necessarily have to be a stay-at-home, because I know a lot of people my age nowadays, they want. So I want someone who could kind of match my drive and my hustle. I don't mind sharing the household cleaning, stuff like that. Like in my household, that's how I grew up. My mom had me clean from a very young age. She told me, she's like, because she grew up in kind of like a more machista household. Mm-hmm. So she instilled it on me at a young age to be like, hey, son, because I have two sisters. She was like, you guys are all going to do the same. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would do the yard work and all the man work and stuff too. But also, I would clean the bathrooms. I'd do my own laundry.
Well, my son, my youngest son is 19. He has to clean his own bathroom.
Good.
But otherwise, in our family, the women, we did the indoor stuff, and I expected men to be the outdoor stuff.
Of course.
Of
course. But
now we have you. So all the work that you're doing right now is, we'll do a dating show some other time. Okay, we got to get back to this. The small business, boys. Exactly. We want to hear from business owners. So you've had a lot of success so far, but you're still putting everything together.
Yeah.
When will the website be up and running?
Hopefully by this Friday, it'll be done. We just got to pay for the domain. And Kirk's just kind of got to give me the rest of like how to use Wix and how to, but other than that, it's just paying the domain.
So is Kirk the one putting the website together?
Shout out Lightspeed Graphics.
Yes, he's one of our sponsors.
You know what? It's so important, I think, for the business owners out there. If you're going to have a web page, you haven't done one yet, it is important for everything from booking and things like this, but to have someone local. I've heard so many horror stories for people that they get contacted. You'll get contacted by everyone when they know you're in business, and
every day
people have paid money and then they don't own their own domain. The website's not finished, and it's an out of the country website, or you can't get a hold of anyone here. By dealing with someone locally, you're able to call them. You know where they live.
Yeah. No, and Kirk probably gets annoyed because I'm calling him like every other day, asking questions.
That's the whole thing. When you're in business, this is how important it is for you. So you're basically, except for your partner, who's also going to school full time and handling the contracts and all of these, the business end of it, But you're out there doing all of the work, and you enjoy being able to go out there and do the work. Yeah. I am, even though it's spring. What else do you do? I know that you're going to come by and do my office windows because I have the glass going all the way from pretty much the sidewalk all the way up.
Okay.
So what other services is it that ENF Services provides? We've done solar panels, gutter cleaning, and then we have this, the roof, and we have spray washing, and let's see, what else do we have here? Roof cleaning, solar panels, window washing, pressure washing. What is bird? Is that the gas stations? I always see that they put all these wires
like
up.
Spikes, or like you know how you noticed around here in the church how they have the spikes. So basically, what bird proofing is around panels, we take this. It's like a aluminum alloy mesh, and we put it around the panels because what happens? A lot of pigeons during the winter and even during the summer, they like the shade. They'll nest under them. You know, they nest under them. It could get really bad. The poop is acidic. They create nests. Damage. Exactly. They'll tear out the wires to put into the nest, and it's just important. It's just important to put around the mesh and the alloy. That way we keep them. You know, we keep them out of there. Because once that happens, they'll come pick at it, and they're like, "Oh, well, I can't get in." So we basically evict them. We evict the birds.
That's good. So you listen to Small Business Voice with Justin Duggan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. And you're listening to Freddy Mojica, owner of ENF Services. You give him a call for a quote. He'll give a free quote at 209-315-4010. Or you can email him at enfsolar@gmail.com. And then social media is at ENF Services at Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
So for this bird proofing, the statue of an owl just doesn't work?
No. It helps. But, you know, sometimes, you know, pigeons, they call them the rats of the sky.
They are.
But they're a little smarter than everybody thinks.
I like pigeons.
Oh, I don't. I don't like birds.
You know, I hear the reason that they bob their head back and forth is that they have poor eyesight.
They do. Yeah.
But I hear also they mate for life. And if their mate is killed, they will never mate again. So, I mean, I think that is something that's kind of like...
I think most birds are like that.
Wow.
Like eagles are like that. Doves, which pigeons are basically just a subspecies of dove, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Yeah, but most birds do that. And it just gets annoying when you hear the pecking. You know, that's a lot of the reasons we get called out, pecking, or, you know, the poop is starting to fall onto our walkway, you know, and a lot of people don't know it's acidic. So they'll poop on top of the panels. And what happens is if it starts to run off, it can create hot spots on your panels.
But it seems like pigeons always seem to go where there's like gas stations and stuff. I mean, I've never seen any on houses.
Or when you're walking outside, they'll use you as a target sometimes. Seems like,
But they'll go where the food is. And I guess gas stations and stores and things have more things.
Well, I guess mainly if there's like a lot of garbage or stuff, you know, they'll.
Well, the thing is, a lot of the reasons they go to houses is because there's no trees. So in areas where there's not a lot of trees, because if there's trees all around the neighborhood, you hardly catch them because they can nest in the trees. You know, trees protect them, they're higher. But since there's no trees around, what's the next best option? A roof. Some panels, you know, so that's where they go. And since they always come and leave and they fly away, it's a perfect, you know, they know for a fact I could come back here. The panels are open. I could go under. They place in the middle, which makes it even harder to get out the nests. You know, so that's what they like to do.
How much notice do you need to be able to, especially... I've been going out to a lot of properties lately because they're being non-renewed because, you know, I do insurance, and then trying to find someone to come out and do something because I did have this, surgeon. He was closing escrow on a house, and the insurance company came back and said, no, there's you know, the moss and everything growing, and then trying to find someone. They were going to close escrow in a week. How much time do you need to be able to go out and take care of something like that, power washing a roof?
So usually our return rate is we try to get you in that same week.
Okay, good.
So we'll finish, you know, for bird proofing, it usually takes about a day or two, depending on the size of the system. A roof cleaning, and also depending on, you know, do you want to get it just soft wash, or do you want to soft wash and pressure wash to get immediate results? That's another thing. So usually our return rate is around 1 to 3 days.
Cost more for a 2-story than a 1?
Of course.
What's the difference between a soft wash and a power wash?
So soft washing, like on shingle roofs, it's all you can do because you don't want pressure because it damages. Basically, the difference
knock
is
the tiles off, right?
So it's actually low pressure on tiles is recommended because up here in the northeast part of the region of the country, we get a certain type of moss that is only specialized over here, and it gets tougher. Sometimes even with just applying the chemical, it won't come straight off. It'll take more months. So the difference is just one is soft wash, which is just straight chemical based. We don't pressure wash. We don't do nothing. And the other one is soft wash. Then we pre-treat it with the chemical. We wait for a day, 24 hours, let it sit. We come the next day.
To kill it?
To kill it.
And then it will loosen up so you can wash it off.
Exactly. And then we come back the next day. We'll go ahead and pressure wash it.
You've done your research for liability purposes. It's not just, hey, I got a pressure washer. Let me go on your roof, right?
Exactly.
So that's good to know.
And we're OSHA certified, by the way. We just got OSHA certified.
Oh, so, and you are insured and you are licensed.
Yes, miss.
All right.
All right. Well, Freddy?
So much information.
Yes.
So again, how do we get a hold of you?
So you could hit us up on social media, ENF Services, on all of us across the board, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. You can email us at enfsolar@gmail.com. And you could always give us a call. 209-315-4010 is our number.
And the E stands for?
Eric.
And F is for you, Freddy.
Freddy.
All right. Great.
Well, hey, thank you for coming on today, and we're actually going to have you come on a couple more times in the next couple months.
I want to find out about the Christmas lights.
Yes, so
we got a lot to talk about. I could
right.
talk for hours.
Oh, yes,
All right.
That's the whole thing. You got that personality.
That's right.
So you're listening to Freddy Mojica, owner of ENF Services. You can be contacted at 209-315-4010, or you can email him at enfsolar@gmail.com, or follow him on social media, ENF Services, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thank you again. You're listening to the Small Business Voice with Justin Duncan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. Stay with us. This is Justin Duncan from the Small Business Voice. And what does every small business need? A website. That's why the Small Business Voice used Sisbro Innovation to build its website. If you're a small business owner looking to grow your online presence, attract more customers, and actually see results, then you need to connect with Sisbro Innovation. They've been helping businesses thrive for over 10 years, offering affordable websites, SEO, Google Ads, social media marketing, and reputation management, all this without breaking the bank. They were also voted Best of 209 for digital marketing in 2024 as well. So if you're ready to take your business to the next level, reach out to Sisbro Innovation today and see what they can do for you. And tell them that Justin from the Small Business Voice sent you. Visit sisbroinnovation.com or call them at 1-800-291-9102. Connecting local businesses with local families.
Hi, I'm Marisol Fernandez, your certified nutrition coach and co-owner of Rooted Movement. Today, let's talk about how to balance your plate. Fill half of your plate with colorful veggies, a quarter with lean protein, and a quarter with whole grains. This simple formula keeps meals balanced and satisfying. At Rooted Movement, we combine practical nutrition advice with movement to help you reach your health and fitness goals. We're located in the heart of downtown Modesto. So visit us today at rootedmovementmodesto.com or follow us on Instagram and Facebook to start your journey today.
Welcome back to the Small Business Voice with Justin Duncan and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. Reach out to more information about our featured guests by texting 209-222-8846, or you can always email me at info@smallbusinessvoicemedia.com. The Community Corner is proudly sponsored by Lightspeed Graphics, a creative media agency specializing in video and animation. To get in touch with owner Kurt Gonzalez, simply text him at 209-617-2606, or visit his website at lightspeedgraphics.com. So before we get to community events, I wanted to let you know that we were in the 48-hour film festival in Modesto that played at the State Theater.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so our movie, so when we got there, there was 69 entries. There was only 62 people that got their movies in on time. So out of those 62 movies, there were 17 that were nominated to play in the finale. Unfortunately, we were not one of those 17. Yeah, but I sent you the movie.
Oh, I got to see it.
Yeah, so it's on the phone. I sent it to you. I sent it to Tiffany, and I sent it to Jim. So it had myself. I was in it. Kurt Gonzalez was in it of Lightspeed Graphics. His brother Sonny was in it.
And if anyone wants to see it, where could they log in on a YouTube? Or?
Yeah. So I put the movie on all the social media platforms. So it's on YouTube. It's on our YouTube channel, Small Business Voice Media. It's on our Facebook page, our Instagram page, our TikTok, and it's
was it fun
on our X? Yeah, it was fun.
Did it take a long time to do a short? How short was the short?
So we had 48 hours to do it. So at 6 o'clock on Friday, and I wasn't a part of a lot of this process, but at 6 o'clock on Friday, they got the genre that we were doing, and it was mockumentary. So they had in that 48 hours, they had to come up with a script. They had to come up, like with the scenery. And they had to shoot it, and then they had to edit.
Do they give them something? Because otherwise, people have things in mind. So
no. So basically, they got the genre.
Oh, so they get the genre,
and that's it. Then the rest is on us. So we had to incorporate a line in the movie, and the line was "Finally, someone noticed." That was the line, and then we had to incorporate canned food in the movie also. So if you see Kurt, eating out of a can. That's that's it right there. So
okay.
Yeah. So it had there's a man named Roman in it, and we were going to try to get him on as a guest in the future too. And I don't know his last name, so I apologize for that. But
I'm so glad we heard that. Our guest today, he's going to come back on because he said the real story is in his partner. So his partner's going to be with him next time.
And I've met Eric once. And it was really brief. Eric and Freddy, when they first came to Gold Star, they...
I think I met him once also.
Yeah. So they were together, and then, Freddy's one, he's the... I would say Freddy's like more of the face of the company.
So it's kind of like the muscles and the brains? No, it's kind of like, even though Freddy's really smart, but he's the economist and everything else. And
they make a great team. It's really impressive.
And he's got the American dream story that a lot of people have out there.
Well, and then what you said about partnerships, they're a pain in the butt. Like you wouldn't believe. Like I've gone through multiple partnerships. They have not worked out well.
Were they called marriages?
They felt like marriages because I'm going to say it was because then you go through the divorce process, and luckily there's no alimony.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, there is a marriage, and only that there's more things that bind you than a partnership. But a partnership is two different personalities, and they even say that, you hear all the time, well, we were best friends until we became roommates in college. Then all of a sudden I noticed how messy she was. Yeah. And then she was doing this and she was too loud. That's the whole thing. Well, people get together, but in a partnership, you really find out that person. Everyone's great ideas and let's get started. And then all of a sudden the partner's not doing what you expect.
Well, I heard something. So something rang true to me last week because we're sitting through the awards ceremony. And there's a man that won an award, and I can't tell you his name, and I can't tell you his movie, and so I apologize for that. But
I thought that you couldn't tell us because you were going to say something bad.
No. Actually, no. What he said rang true to me because I used to be this person, and then it seemed like I turned into this other person. And he said, I made up my goal to surround myself by doers and not talkers. And I took that to heart because I was a doer. When I did this business, I just jumped in and started doing it. Probably ill-advised, but I went in. I was a doer, and then the more and more you talk to people, and the more and more you want to collaborate, you find out that they're just talkers.
Oh God, and I think anyone that's also been self-employed, and when you hire people, you have the people that come in and they want the job. They'll talk, and then when it comes time to do. And the same thing, like I said, I used to do Cookie Lee jewelry where, it's like networking and things like this and selling jewelry. And after 2 months, this girl had and I made this cute things, and then I made these baskets for when they shop for their jewelry. And I said, have you called and booked any shows yet? Yeah. And she's going, no, but I got these cute little invitations. And so, the whole thing is like, I need something else.
I got to tell you a story really quick. So let me reset. So you listen to Small Business Voice with Just Nugget and Jeanette Forney on Power Talk 1360 KFIV and the iHeartRadio app. So years ago, I was a transportation manager from a company that I'm not going to mention. And there was this young lady. I say young. I think she was in her 40s, but she wanted a job. So when I interviewed her, she told me everything. Like she was able to work. She was eager to jump in.
I'll do anything.
I'll do anything.
I know how to do this.
Yeah, and when I hired her, when I actually hired her and brought her on, her attitude just changed, and she ended up working for maybe a week. And we asked her to do something, and she told us to go something I can't say on the air. Oh. And she took off. She walked out. And then 3 days later, she called back and apologizing and wanted her job back. But
no. I'm sorry. My office is I want to put a big sign. This is a no drama zone. Leave it outside.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Especially the more employees you have, the more personalities you have.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Sometimes you feel like you're a counselor instead of a boss. And boss, when you run a company, you want results.
Yeah,
and,
well, you have to have results. If you want to stay around, you have to have results.
And you can sound like a really mean person when you ask someone for the third time, have you done this yet?
Well,
and, it's or that they don't do it. And then you find out that they said they knew how to do it, and all of a sudden they're going well, I've never done it before. Yeah. So, now you're training them, but, that's the whole thing. It's people will have a great gift of gab, and you go, oh, this is going to be great. And then when they're hired, you realize they don't have the skill, they don't have the talent or the knowledge, and that's sad.
Yeah.
That's why I do the personality test. Everyone comes off as being really good, and then they have their strengths.
So this morning, really quick, I had to talk with a fellow business owner.
We know a lot of them.
Yes, and so we kind of butted heads this morning, and but to their credit, they called back and apologized, and I said, "There's no need for an apology because I don't take anything personal. If we have an agreement, it's business."
You know what? That's another really important thing when you are a business owner. If you have the confidence, if you said, "Jeanette, you wore the same shirt as I wore," someone without confidence go, "Oh God, I'm sorry." And women do apologize way too much. But when I have confidence, I go, "Yeah, we got great taste, don't we?" And that's the whole thing. When you are a business owner, you cannot take things personally.
No, it's business. It's black and white.
If you have confidence, nothing's going to bother you. And if someone actually says something because they're trying to bother you, I ask them again. If somebody actually ends up saying "Oh, look who just walked in late," I said, "Could you please repeat that?" Because they knew they were saying it just to be snarky, So when you make them repeat it, then they end up being very sheepish because they know that they were just trying to make you feel bad. They're not going to make me feel bad.
This wasn't that situation. This was more of a misunderstanding, and we were able to talk it out and everything. But like I said, if there's a disagreement or something, to me, it's just business, know. And there's too many people out there that take things personally. So anyway, we got to wrap up because we're going a little long.
Oh yeah, we could go on about this for a whole other show, couldn't we?
Exactly.
Maybe we'll do a show sometime on communication skills and being self-employed. Perfect. Too many people, they're
all right
snowflakes.
So thank you for tuning in each week. We look forward to having you back next week. A heartfelt shout out to our dedicated producer, Mike Murray, and General Manager of KCBP, Jim Costello, for their invaluable contributions to our show. We appreciate the hard work of our intern, Tiffany Alex, and Kurt Gonzalez. From Lightspeed Graphics, Video, and Animation, we're capturing and inspiring our guests and their stories. If you're seeking assistance with digital marketing, don't hesitate to reach out to Kurt Gonzalez at 209-617-2606 or via email at kurt@lightspeedgraphics.com. Thank you, Jeanette, for joining me today on the Small Business Voice.
Hey, great guest.
And remember to join us every Saturday at 11 a.m. as we dive into the minds of local small business owners with even more insightful discussions. Special thanks to our guest, Eric Mojica from E&F Services, for sharing his expertise with us. And now, let's take care of business.